Hello and welcome. Have you ever felt like everyone is watching you? Like every choice you make is being judged? Many people live this way every single day. They worry about what others think. They explain everything they do. They never stop performing. But there is another way to live. A way that brings more peace, more freedom, and more power. This is a story about silence, about focusing on yourself, about finding true strength in a noisy world. Let us begin. There was a time when life felt like a stage. Every morning started with worry. What will people think? What will they say? It seemed like everyone was watching, judging every move, every word, every choice. The feeling was heavy and tiring. But here is the truth. Most people are not watching. They are busy with their own lives, their own problems, their own worries. Everyone is thinking about themselves. The spotlight we imagine is not real. It only exists in our minds. Think about walking into a room full of people. The heart beats faster. The hands feel cold. There is a voice inside saying everyone is looking. But look around carefully. Some people are checking their phones. Others are talking to friends. Nobody is really paying attention. They are all focused on their own world. This fear of being watched comes from deep inside. It starts when we are young. We learn to care what others think. We want to be liked. We want to be accepted. So we start performing. We act like we are always on a stage. We smile even when we are sad. We laugh even when something is not funny. We explain everything we do because we think we must. But this constant performing is exhausting. It takes all the energy. There is no time left to think about what truly matters. There is no space to hear the inner voice, the real thoughts, the true feelings. This is where silence becomes powerful. Silence does not mean being weak. It does not mean having nothing to say. Silence means having control. It means choosing when to speak and when to stay quiet. It means understanding that not everything needs an explanation. When someone asks why a certain choice was made, the first reaction is often to explain. Words come rushing out. Reasons are given. Stories are told. But why? Why is there this need to make everyone understand? The truth is, most people will not understand anyway. They have their own way of seeing the world. They have their own opinions. No amount of explaining will change that. Staying silent in these moments feels strange at first. It feels like something is missing. But slowly, something beautiful happens. The need for approval starts to fade. The fear of judgment becomes smaller. There is more peace inside. Silence also protects energy. Energy is limited. Every day starts with a certain amount. Talking to some people gives energy. They make life feel lighter and brighter. But talking to other people takes energy away. After a conversation with them, there is a feeling of being completely drained, empty, tired. These energy-draining people often come with complaints, drama, and negativity. They talk about problems but never want solutions. They ask for advice but never follow it. They want attention and time but give nothing back. Explaining things to these people is like pouring water into a broken cup. It just keeps flowing out. Learning to stay silent around such people is important. It saves precious energy for things that truly matter. For dreams. For goals. For people who genuinely care. Not everyone deserves access to the inner world. Not everyone deserves to know what is happening inside the heart and mind. There is also something interesting about drama. Drama needs attention to survive. It feeds on reactions. When someone says something hurtful, the natural response is to argue back, to defend, to prove them wrong. But this is exactly what drama wants. It grows bigger with every word. Staying silent in the face of drama is one of the hardest things to do. It feels like giving up. It feels like letting the other person win. But actually, silence is the real victory. When there is no reaction, the drama has nowhere to go. It simply dies. Imagine someone spreading rumors or saying negative things. The old response would be to get angry, to call them out, to make sure everyone knows the truth. But what happens then? More arguments, more negativity, more wasted time and energy. Instead, staying silent and continuing to move forward shows real strength. People who matter will see the truth. People who do not matter will believe what they want anyway. Then there are goals and dreams. Everyone has something they want to achieve, a new skill to learn, a project to complete, a healthier lifestyle to build. When these plans are fresh and exciting, there is a strong urge to share them with everyone, to tell friends, to post on social media, to make big announcements. But something strange happens when plans are shared too early. Some people will be supportive and encouraging, but others will doubt. They will ask questions that plant seeds of worry. Is that really possible? Are you sure you can do it? Maybe you should wait. Maybe it is too difficult. These words might seem small, but they can be powerful. They can weaken motivation. They can create fear where there was none before. Even worse, talking too much about plans can create a false sense of achievement. The mind feels like something has already been done just by talking about it. This makes it harder to actually do the work. Keeping goals private gives them space to grow strong. Working in silence means focusing all energy on action, not explanation. When results finally appear, they speak louder than any words ever could. People will see the change. They will notice the progress, and their respect will be real because it is based on what was actually accomplished, not on what was promised. There is another challenge that comes with personal growth. When someone starts changing, becoming better, stronger, more focused, the people around them do not always like it. Friends might say things like, "You have changed," and not in a good way. Family members might want the old version back, the one who was always available, always saying yes, always putting others first. This can feel confusing and painful. There is a worry about losing relationships. There is guilt about putting personal needs first. But here is what must be understood. Growth means change. It is impossible to stay exactly the same forever. People who truly care will support the journey. They will be happy to see positive changes. They will celebrate the new strength and confidence. But some people will not be happy. They will feel uncomfortable because the change reminds them of their own lack of progress. They might try to pull back down to where things were comfortable for them. This is when silence and distance become necessary, not out of anger or hatred, but out of self-protection. Outgrowing people is not selfish. It is natural. Not everyone is meant to be in every chapter of life. Some people are there for a season, for a specific reason, and then it is time to move forward. This does not make them bad people. It just means the paths are different now. Protecting the new version, the growing version, the better version is important. This means setting boundaries. It means saying no without feeling guilty. It means understanding that old connections do not always fit new directions. All of this leads to something valuable and rare. Peace. Real, deep, lasting peace. This kind of peace is not loud. It does not announce itself. It does not need constant validation. It simply exists quietly and powerfully. People with this peace do not argue much. They do not feel the need to prove they are right. They do not waste time on meaningless debates. They walk through life with a calm that others can feel even without words. Their silence speaks volumes. This peace shows in small ways, in how someone reacts when things go wrong, in how they handle criticism, in how they treat people who are unkind to them. Instead of lashing out or breaking down, there's a quiet strength, and knowing that their value does not depend on what others think or say. Building this peace takes time. It does not happen overnight. It comes from many small choices. Choosing not to explain when someone does not deserve an explanation. Choosing not to react when drama appears. Choosing to focus on personal goals instead of comparing with others. Choosing to let go of relationships that no longer serve growth. Each of these choices feels difficult in the moment, but over time, they become easier, they become natural, and slowly, life transforms. There is more time, more energy, more clarity. The mind is no longer cluttered with what others think. There is space to hear true desires, real dreams, authentic feelings. Silence and focus work together. Silence clears the noise. Focus directs the energy. Together, they create a life that feels aligned and purposeful. Days are no longer spent explaining, defending, or performing. They are spent building, creating, and growing. This does not mean becoming cold or distant. It does not mean never speaking or sharing. It means being intentional. It means choosing carefully who gets access to the inner world. It means valuing personal time and energy as precious resources that should not be wasted. It also means understanding that actions will always be more powerful than words. Someone can talk all day about being kind, but one kind action proves it. Someone can explain why they are trustworthy, but consistent behavior over time shows it. Someone can promise to change, but actual change is visible without any announcement. Living this way brings unexpected gifts. Relationships become deeper because they are based on genuine connection, not on constant explaining or people-pleasing. Work becomes more fulfilling because energy goes into actual progress, not into proving worth to others. Self-confidence grows because it comes from within, not from external validation. There is also a beautiful freedom in not caring so much about what others think. This does not mean being reckless or disrespectful. It means understanding that it is impossible to please everyone. Someone will always disagree. Someone will always judge. Someone will always have an opinion. Trying to satisfy everyone is exhausting and pointless. Instead, focusing on personal values and goals brings satisfaction. Living according to what feels right inside, not according to what looks good outside. This alignment creates a sense of wholeness that cannot be found through approval from others. The journey to this place is not always smooth. There will be moments of doubt. There will be times when the old habits try to come back. When someone criticizes, there will be a strong urge to defend. When someone judges, there will be a desire to explain. When drama appears, there will be temptation to engage. But each time these urges are resisted, strength grows. Each time silence is chosen over reaction, power increases. Each time focus stays on personal path, instead of getting distracted by others, progress happens. Over time, something amazing becomes clear. The people who truly matter stick around. They respect the silence. They value the focus. They support the growth. And the people who do not matter naturally fall away. They find someone else to drain. They move on to another drama. They disappear without any effort needed. This natural filtering is one of the greatest benefits of living with silence and focus. Life becomes simpler. Relationships become more meaningful. Time becomes more valuable. Energy is used for what truly matters. Looking back at the beginning, at that time when life felt like a stage, everything seems different now. The imaginary audience is gone. The constant need to perform has faded. The exhausting cycle of explaining and defending has ended. What remains is peace. Quiet, powerful, unshakable peace. A peace that does not need to announce itself. A peace that others can feel without words. A peace that comes from knowing that personal worth is not determined by opinions, judgments, or approval from anyone else. This is the true power of silence. This is the real gift of focusing on oneself. It is not about being selfish or isolated. It is about being strong enough to protect inner peace, wise enough to save energy for what matters, and confident enough to let actions speak instead of words. The spotlight was never real. The stage was always imaginary. Freedom comes from realizing this truth and stepping off that stage forever. From that moment on, life is no longer a performance. It is simply life, lived fully, quietly, and powerfully.